Lyra and the Candy Thief by Lyrafan38. But I thought it was candy! Lyra took a very careful look around her. She was determined not to get caught this time, not to give herself away ever so easily, not to let Bonbon know that she had made off with the candy again. The mint green unicorn's target was a small bowl sitting in the kitchen, completely filled with Bonbon's namesakes. Lyra had managed to eat one of them before, and she instantly enjoyed the delicate treat as she slowly let the flavors simmer in her mouth. Bonbon had a reputation of being one of the very best candy makers in Ponyville, only seconded to Sugar Cube Corner, and Lyra made sure that Bonbon knew that she thought her treats were the best. Lyra thought about just rushing into the kitchen, grabbing the bowl, and just cramming as many of the candies as she could fit inside her mouth. The only problem with that was that Bonbon was in the kitchen, fixing up some kind of new dinner that the unicorn couldn't remember or that she didn't care. Bonbon had made sure that Lyra was limited to one candy piece after dinner, because the Earth Pony had been looking into healthier alternatives to cook. And Bonbon had pretty good hearing. The last time Lyra tried to steal the candy, the Earth Pony had managed to detect Lyra's hoofsteps almost as quick as she had to hide the candy bowl before Lyra had come sliding into the kitchen, determined to get her sacred prize. The unicorn needed to be somewhat sneakier. Bonbon must never find out. Lyra tip-hoofed very carefully down the hallway, almost making no noise. If one single squeak from the floor got out, her mission would be over before it truly started. She could hear Bonbon humming the closer she got to her target. Cautiously, the unicorn tilted her head around the corner to see if Bonbon was watching her. Bonbon had her back turned as she chopped up a few carrots for the supper. She seemed so into her cooking that Lyra doubted she'd be able to hear her even if she went to a full gallop. Lyra stole another glance at the treat bowl. It seemed to beckon at her, almost wanting to be devoured. A small mountain of bonbons waiting for any pony with a sweet tooth to eat them up. And Lyra would be their savior, answering their call to be transported to a new place, namely her stomach. Stealthily, the unicorn crept along the floor to not bring attention to herself. Truth be told, if any pony was outside their house looking in, the sight of Lyra sneaking along the floor would earn a look of confusion. However, Lyra's attention was more focused on the Earth Pony and the chocolatey treasure just silently waiting to be claimed. It took a matter of a few seconds to cross the open space that, if Bonbon turned around, she would have an unobscured view of Lyra trying to be a ninja. But to Lyra, seconds felt like minutes like hours. It was crucial of her not to screw up. If she did, Bonbon would ground her from the candy and taunt her by eating them. Again. Lyra risked another glance at the treasure just sitting a few feet above her horn. Decadent chocolates almost crying out to her by this point, waiting for the god to reach out to save them. This steadied the unicorn's nerves. She could do this. She could get the candy. All she had to do was simply reach up with a spell and just gallop out of Bonbon's line of sight to devour the small mountain she had acquired. Just to be safe, Lyra twisted her head to look around at Bonbon. She was completely oblivious to the fact that her namesake candies were about to disappear right under her nose. For Lyra, it seemed that Celestia had given her a golden blessing. This was probably the easiest attempt of candy stealing she had ever done. All she had to do was grab and move. Taking a very deep breath and holding it in, Lyra fired up a spell that surrounded the bowl in a golden aura and soon began galloping as fast as she could away from the kitchen. Bonbon looked up from her cooking, a little startled by the sudden noise. She could have sworn she heard Lyra. She trotted over to the counter where she had heard the noise. All that was left was one bowl filled to the top with a mountain of candy. Lyra had probably tried to steal the candy yet again. Bonbon inwardly smiled to herself. She had managed to trick the unicorn at her own game. And all she had done was one simple maneuver. One small act that would have amazed any pony. When Lyra wasn't looking, Bonbon had placed the bowl of vegetables next to the candy bowl, predicting that was what Lyra was headed for. The candy bowl was pushed off to the side and in a little bit so that the vegetable bowl was perched in the exact location the candy bowl was. The other bowl was now safely hidden to a place where Lyra wouldn't see it at all. Safely hidden away, Lyra let out the breath she had been holding. Her mission was complete. She had liberated the entire bowl of candy straight from almost getting rid of. Speaking of which, Lyra magically set the bowl down and grabbed a piece of the bonbons. She opened her mouth wide as she brought the candy to her mouth. And that's when she noticed something. This bonbon was long, slender, and orange. She automatically recognized it as a carrot. Taking a glance at the rest of the bowl revealed a lot more vegetables and other healthy stuff. Lyra face-huffed. She had grabbed the wrong bowl in her haste to collect the candy. Somehow, she had been beaten by Bonbon yet again. If any pony was in the near vicinity of Lyra and Bonbon's house, only one name could be heard throughout the area. Bonbon!
We here at Pony&Wolf Productions thank these amazing patrons of ours for their monthly support, without which all of this would not be possible. We sincerely appreciate it, and every dollar helps, is needed, and will be used to keep us going to produce audiobooks for your continued enjoyment. It is, now more than ever, important that you support your favorite creators if possible, due to YouTube changing in a way that is not very friendly to content creators. Especially small content creators, like us. In recent months, the names you see on screen have enabled Midnight and Visual Pony to keep going and only having to sell off part of their belongings to not end up on the street. As an incentive for everyone, Visual Pony has broken a vow and has promised to read and record Fallout Equestria, Murky number 7, should the monthly support reach $1,500. To be clear, this is the absolute minimum amount needed to keep the apartment and all bills paid without starving, while a production of this size is ongoing. The estimated time for this production would be 3 to 4 years, but people already said that Project Horizons was impossible to do, right? And now look who did it, so with Pony&Wolf, you know we can finish the job. For further information on how to support us, please have a look at the description of this video, as there are also other ways, like our merch store. Sincerely and forever yours, your Pony&Wolf team.